looking at Michigan Avenue, and this is our annual McDonald's Charity Christmas Parade. I have Mark Linn-Baker from Perfect Strangers and John Stamos of Full House, both ABC.
We have our announcer voices on.
Oh, you do?
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
Did either one of you do radio? Oh, your father did radio.
Yes, he did. My father was a radio copywriter, as a matter of fact, in Hartford, Connecticut, where he did coverage of the annual Hartford Thanksgiving Day Parade on radio.
I didn't know they had one.
They don't. But they did 3 hours of coverage of a fictional parade every Thanksgiving.
War of the Worlds.
That's right.
Well, what is a parade without bands? And I hear one coming up.
Well, here they are wearing traditional red coats with black cape and trousers. It's the 144-member Marching Knights of Lincoln Way Community High School. They were Centel United Way National Christmas Parade champions last year and in 1985. They're playing Viva Musica. What a march band, too, Marching Knights have appeared at the Fiesta and Hall of Fame Bowls, the National Band Pageant in Phoenix, the Tournament of Roses, and the Great Bands of Orange Bowl competition.
And with more on our Centel United Way Band Contest, here's Diane Burns with Michael Coomer, Dean of Music at Duquesne University. Diane?
That the bands and the floats are all so great. Now, Michael is here to tell us about the competition. There is competition today, and Michael, I guess you might get points for having guts. That one float that had the guys in the front dressed as reindeer took a lot of guts.
I love it. You and I are going to do that next year in the parade, I think. Our first judge in today's parade is George Hattendorf, and George is judging music performance worth 20 points. That means he listens for instruments being played with rhythmic precision, in tune, and with good tone quality. His counterpart is Gary Chapinski, judging visual performance, and Gary makes sure that lines are being set and maintained correctly, and that the auxiliary units do everything that they do with a lot of authority and precision. The other two judges, Michael Cesario and Jay Klecker, put themselves as members of the audience, and they listen for the entertainment value of everything that goes on today in the parade, and they want to be overwhelmed with artistic sensitivity and so on from the competing units. Now, having said all that, you need to know that that's the second most important thing that our judges do. The most important thing is to make a cassette tape commentary as the units go through the reviewing stand, and those cassettes go directly to the students. That's how music education and visual education really takes place, and we're happy that Centel and Bands of America are supporting that activity for that reason.
And this year it's great that they don't have to play with rain going down there too, but like they have been in the past years. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Let's get back to Mark, Janet, and John.
Oh, Diana, damp tuba is no fun. You know that.
Yeah, you too.
Here are some folks that you should know now. They represent the McDonald's owners of Chicagoland in Northwest Indiana. Their group has helped to make our McDonald's Charity Christmas Parade possible every year. Riding in a 1955 Chevy convertible are Blanton Kennedy, Vice President of the local McDonald's Group, Herman Petty, Secretary, and Angelo Lencioni, Public Relations Chairman. McDonald's owners nationwide are very deeply involved in charitable work in their communities, and nowhere more than here in Chicago and Northwest Indiana.
All right, we're looking at the J.C. Penney float.
Whoa.
There it is. J.C. Penney joins the parade this year with a huge, beautifully crafted float. Look at that.
That's great.
Called The Land Before Time. Land Before Time is George Lucas and Steven Spielberg's new animated film hit, directed by George Bluth. And here's Littlefoot, who plays the starring role. Actually, Littlefoot is far from little. He's almost as tall as the float is long, 25 feet.
Oh.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry, I got to go.
Littlefoot is sponsored by J.C. Penney in honor of America's 4-H Club. Here's more.
Oh, look at
Hello,
that.
I'm W.R. Howell, chairman of J.C. Penney. How much do you know about 4-H? Whether it's teaching a farm youth about livestock or motivating an urban teenager to clean up his community, 4-H is dedicated to helping our young people prepare for a better tomorrow. Give our youth a chance to excel. Support 4-H.
She's awake, and she's happy. Of course, that siren isn't bothering that little one.
Sounds like my ride's here, folks. I got to go. Chicago takes special pride in the fire department. When you see these gleaming fire trucks, you can see why. Chicago's firefighters support a wide variety of children's charities with a special accent on fire safety. Wow. Sparky is Chicago's firefighting clown. Mark, did you know that?
Yes, I did.
And you'll see him working hard to help adults and children be aware of fire prevention and safety. You'll also see Sparky when the Chicago Firefighters Union and the Variety Club get together on behalf of children's charities in Chicago.
Boy, they're loud.
They're loud.
They have to be, I guess. Speaking of the Firefighters Union, this shining antique fire truck is sponsored by the union's local number 2. Now, how many of you kids watching today would like to find that truck under your tree on Christmas morning? There are 3 raised hands right here on the platform. Come to think of it, I wouldn't mind really finding a truck that size under my tree. Now, this is a good time to remind our viewers that the Christmas parade is a big and complicated event. It's a tough job to keep things moving smoothly, and it all happens thanks to our volunteer parade marshals, members of the Lions Clubs International. We thank them a whole bunch.
All right, now, and with those bolero hats and Spanish-style uniforms, this band would be right at home in Spain. But actually, they are the Marching Warriors from Watsika, Illinois, directed by Michael Lahey. Watsika only has 5,800 people, but the Marching Warriors have won a batch of firsts in parade and field competition. They've appeared in the Cherry Festival Parade in Traverse City, Michigan, and the Gatlinburg Music Festival in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And they play great music, too. As you can hear from their rendition of Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Is that what it is?
Well,
I thought it was Inagata de Vida.
Well, as we figure out what exactly it is, we're going to take a short break, but you stay with us because we're going to be meeting Jason Hervey, star of ABC's hit series Wonder Years, right after this. Welcome back to Michigan Avenue, site of the Chicago Annual McDonald's Charity Christmas Parade. We're so happy that you have joined us. Did we decide, guys, what that last song was?
It was Santa Claus Was Coming to Town. It was indeed.
It was a kind of a strange version of it, but it was good.
Well, you know, here's a great way to generate the pep you need to cope with the stress and strain of Christmas shopping. It's a good old-fashioned homecoming pep rally. There's some people that are feeling pretty peppy.
That's right, and I know because I have a Mustang like this. I have a 1969 Mustang, so for automobile lovers, here's Christmas list on wheels. These cars are classic Mustangs and Shelby Cobras from 1964 to 1970. They're owned by members of the Northern Illinois Shelby American Car Club.
Oh, look at that. Here's some young Chicagoans down here waving at the cameras, waving at who's on the street.
Big Full House fans.
That's 5 mentions, John. And of course, they were perfect strangers to all of us.
That's right.
A great pep rally calls for a great band, and we've got one right here. Here comes the pride of Chicago marching band from Chicago Vocational High School. They're playing the Washington Post March, or will be in just a second. Preview of their upcoming performance in the inaugural parade in Washington, D.C. Yes, they'll be there in January. In addition to marching in every Chicago Christmas parade since 1975 and entertaining people up in windows, the Pride of Chicago Band has appeared in Chicago's Mexican Independence Day Parade and the Special Olympics Parade. Boy, they're getting ready. Can't you feel it? You know, they do that little cadence there. The girls are marching along. Here they come.
They're breakdancing along.
You know, there's another story here behind the band before they start. The band director, Michelangelo Taylor, has helped many of his students beat the odds in the underprivileged South Side neighborhoods served by Chicago Vocational. He's placed students from this band in over 50 different colleges and universities, many of them on band scholarships. There they go. I told you they'll get going.
These guys get down. These guys are great. Isn't it beautiful how music can help people and bring people together, help kids? I think it's a neat thing.
I tell you, they're a band to beat in our Centel United Way contest. They've got the crowd going, too.
They got to answer their pants. That's what they got.
This is a serious band. Serious contenders here.
Once again, it's the pride of Chicago marching band, Chicago Vocational High School. 2, 3, 4, 11 blocks long, ranging from Balboa Street north to Wacker Drive at the Chicago River, and it takes about 25 minutes to walk this better of a mile route. Or march it. Hi there.
Oh, here we go. What's a pep rally without pom-poms? You got it.
What?
Pom-poms.
I always thought it was pom-pom, but I guess I'm wrong.
Pom-pom.
Mark has done a lot of that pom-pom work. So
That's right. That's right. I know that stuff. Here's the Bayport Pom-Poms, the first pom-pom squad ever invited to perform at Walt Disney World. Nice. And they were such a hit, they've been invited back.
Kicked me out of here.
Last year, the Bayporters were named grand champions of the Midwest Invitation Pom-Pom Competition. Isn't it pom-pomming at its best?
Oh, and they're followed by some beloved mascots here in Chicago.
That's right, Chicago people love sports, Christmas time or any time, and here's Chicago's favorite sports mascots. There's Wiley the Wildcat, who represents Northwestern University. And then you got D-Dragon and the cheerleaders, mascots of the University of Illinois, Chicago Flames, and Rock'em Sock'em to their sports events, huh? There's Murdoch the Bulldog. He's the mascot for the Chicago Bruisers. Last season, the Bruisers finished with the league's best record, but lost to Detroit in the championship. We won't want to talk about that. You got Benny the Bull. And he says that he taught Michael Jordan everything he knows, but I don't.
No?
We also got Bo, the Loyola Rambler. DePaul Blue Demon. He's the mascot for the highly rated DePaul basketball team.
Oh, and some lovely ladies,
Very
too.
nice girls here. That's right. We've saved the loveliest for last. These are our beautiful homecoming queens.
Well, now the Christmas stocking hung by the chimney is truly a symbol of Christmas joy. This float is sponsored by First Card, and it features 6 stockings, each one symbolizing a national charity. It's all part of First Card's Choose to Make a Difference campaign, and every time someone uses a First Card, money is donated to a fund benefiting 6 charities. And here is more about this very special charity and the people involved.
Hello, I'm Scott Marks, General Manager of First Card for First Chicago Corporation. This year, along with millions of Americans, we're choosing to make a difference, supporting MasterCard's program of contributions to 6 important charitable causes. Last year's effort brought nearly $3 million to the groups involved, and MasterCard hopes to surpass that figure this year. Happy holidays, and thanks for choosing to make a difference with First Card.
The 6 charities that are involved that are going to be benefited are the Alzheimer's Association, the Just Say No Foundation, the American Red Cross, the American Heart Association, the National Committee for the Prevention of Child Abuse, and the American Cancer Society. We thank First Card for helping make things happen.